the great thing about wilderness is that you can walk to the resort from your housing. You are right there. You don't have to worry about trying to catch a bus or ride your bike in the rain. Like, it's everything is right there, which makes it so much easier for you. Like I said earlier, you're going to meet people from all over the world. There are a lot of work and travel participants at Wilderness Resort, and so you'll get to truly experience cultural exchange, which is life-changing for so many people. Wilderness also plans a lot of really fun activities, which I'll show you on the next slide. And you'll be near a lot of large cities. Aside from being in the Wisconsin Dells, you'll be close to some pretty major cities that I'll also talk about. But first, so this is just kind of to show you some examples of things that Wilderness Resort has planned for participants in the past. But every month they will post a schedule of cultural activities for you to take part in. So some examples are, let's see, we've got participants going bowling. That is a very popular American activity, especially on a rainy day, if you're looking for something to do. State fairs, also very popular in the summertime. These two photos, this boy looking out at the lake and this girl with her arms up, that is Devil's Lake State Park, which is a beautiful nature preserve in the Wisconsin Dells area. So if you like nature, there is opportunities for hiking in Wisconsin, believe it or not. And it is close to Madison, Wisconsin. And so these photos, this is at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. So if you're curious about what is an American university like, this is a very good example. They're one of the largest universities in the United States, and they do tours. So you can tour that if you like. You can also join in a tour of the state capital of Wisconsin, which is also Madison. Madison is only a 1-hour drive from Wisconsin Dells, so you can get there pretty easily. So for reference, Wisconsin Dells, you see that up there? Madison, boom, 1 hour away. So you can take a taxi there or get there however. The other thing that our participants love to do who are in the Wisconsin Dells are visiting Chicago. It is about a 3.5-hour train ride that gets you from the Dells to Chicago. So it's very doable. The cool thing, and this, I guess you can't see it right here, but the cool thing is that it also goes through Milwaukee, which is another major city. So you've got a 2-hour train ride from Wisconsin Dells to Milwaukee. And if you want to take it the rest of the way to Chicago, that's 3.5 hours total. So you've got easy access to 2 really cool cities. We wanted to highlight Chicago on this slide because it's our favorite city. Spirit is located right near Chicago. So you got to check it out if you're going to be here.
Chelsea, tell me about that big body of water I see on the map.
Oh yeah, that is Lake Michigan. So, if you're concerned about not being on the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean, don't worry about it. We've got Lake Michigan, which honestly is so big that it feels like an ocean. It stretches the entire length of Wisconsin, and it even goes down in Chicago. So you can actually see it right here, these girls. So that's Lake Michigan. It's your own little beach day if you wanna take some time to go over there. But it is a wonderful lake that you should definitely check out. All right, Colleen, I'm gonna hand it over to you.
Thank you, Chelsea. Let's move on over to talk about lifeguarding. As Chelsea mentioned, lifeguarding is a really fun, interesting, skill-building kind of position. It is a job that many American high school and university students have had in the past because it's a popular job over the summer, and that's when students generally have a lot of free time. It is a really important job because you are there to make sure that guests are safe. And when you can put that kind of experience on a resume, it really shows people that you are a dedicated hard worker, able to learn really important skills in another language in another country. So this is an amazing opportunity for you to be able to have and then use to show how strong of a worker you are and how many different kinds of skills you have for any job that you might want in the future. It helps you with teamwork because you do have to work as a team with your fellow lifeguards. The other really interesting thing about lifeguarding at Wilderness is that if you are dedicated and a good worker and want to do additional training, you have the potential to increase your wage because you have taken on additional responsibility. It's also a great way to practice your English. You need to be able to communicate with guests and other colleagues who might have different languages because they're from all over the world. So you are working on your English every day. And that is another great skill to put on any resume for future opportunities you might have. So we wanted to highlight, what do lifeguards say about their experience at Wilderness? One participant said, "What I liked most was being a lifeguard and seeing that I'm important in the safety of the park. This is a really important job. Everybody, guests and the host employer, are depending on you to do your job and do it well. Lifeguarding position made me improve English skills to communicate with guests." So we know that this is a great opportunity to practice those skills that you've already worked so hard on to get to the point of applying for this program. What is it like working at Wilderness? So you can see here, Wilderness is a really fun resort. It is a place where many families go, and they just have a great fun environment, I think. Some of the things that other participants have shared with us who have worked at Wilderness before is that what I liked most about this employer was the way they valued their employees, not just as contributors to the company, but as individuals with unique backgrounds and perspectives. Wilderness hires participants from all over the world, and they really enjoy getting to know people from lots of different countries and cultures. So that's the kind of openness and welcomeness that I think that you will also experience if you are able to work at Wilderness. Someone else shared, "From day one, I was welcomed with open arms into a supportive and inclusive work environment. They gave a lot of hours and are very kind. The house is near the workplace, as Chelsea mentioned. Everyone is kind, and you have lots of friends here. It is a large host employer, so there are many people working, and that gives you an opportunity to meet lots of different kinds of people that you may not experience if it's a smaller host employer with a few staff. So this is a great job for someone who wants to meet a lot of different people and have a great work culture. The resort itself is one of a kind, and it has a lot of amazing slides, water slides, and views. It is a very beautiful place, I have to agree." Wisconsin Dells. So the Wisconsin Dells is a very popular tourist place. So it's a place where a lot of families go on vacation, especially families that live in the area of the US that we are in. We call it the Midwest. So a lot of people will drive to spend a few days at the Wisconsin Dells, go to the water parks, do all these different things. It's a little vibrant town full of things for people on vacation to do. So what do we want to do when we're on vacation? We want to eat a lot. We want to do fun things and have a good time, right? So you would be living in this community, and on your days off, you would be able to do the things that are there for people who are on vacation. As Chelsea mentioned, there's a lot of outdoor activity. There is a lake in the Wisconsin Dells, and it's very beautiful. You can go on boat rides or paddle boarding, kayaking. There are a lot of other students like yourselves who have come to work for the summer. And so you get to meet people from all over the world in this little town in Wisconsin. It's a really great way to meet different people. There's a lot of shopping and dining and things to do. And yeah, you really shouldn't be bored because there's a lot available to you. It's a really fun place to be. So that is all of the information we have for Wilderness right now, but I realize that it may not have answered all your questions. So we are going to open it up for questions in a minute. I do want to point out that Wilderness is going to be in Columbia for our job fair on November 23rd. If you are interested in meeting the host employer and interviewing with the host employer in person, which is really unique and hard to do because not every host employer can travel to individually meet participants, I would encourage you to sign up with your agency, BBB. We're going to put a link in the chat that will direct you to where you need to go to sign up for the job fair. All right, Chelsea, I'll give it back to you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you all for joining us. Like Colleen said, we're going to open it up for questions now. So if you have any questions, feel free to add them to the chat. As you can see, Grace provided the sign up link in the chat. So be sure to click on that and you can sign up there. Grace is also going to share a video from summer 2024. Every year, Spirit hosts a video contest. And one of our wilderness participants actually won. He won second place and created a great video about what it's like to be a work and travel participant in Wisconsin. So there it is in the chat. His name was Brooke High. And he definitely watch the video. He got to travel to Chicago, and he shares a little bit about all the people that he met and the experiences that he had. So give it a watch because maybe next summer that'll be you. And like I said, Catherine is here. So if there are any questions about working at Wilderness or anything, being a lifeguard, if you have questions about Wisconsin Dells, go ahead and leave them in the chat. Otherwise, if you need to head off and go to class or catch up on some studying or go to a Halloween party, you can feel free to do so. But we'll hang out for a few more minutes just in case there's some additional questions.
I'll just introduce myself while we're waiting a little bit to see if any questions come in. As Chelsea said, my name is Catherine. I work with our host employers in Wisconsin Dells. I've been working with them for 5 years. I go to Wisconsin Dells all the time. I go probably 2 or 3 times a year. It's a really fun community. There's a community support group that I'm a part of, and we work really hard to plan lots of cultural activities for you to go to. So outside of, all the big cities nearby, Madison, Milwaukee, Chicago, there's also a lot of really cool activities in the area. We'll organize volunteer activities, bowling, outdoor picnics. So it's a really great environment to come and be a part of. The community's always excited to welcome their J1 participants every summer.
Catherine, what's your favorite thing about Wilderness Resort?
Oh, there's a lot of things. One of my favorite things about it is that they have really big indoor water parks as well as outdoor water parks. Mm-hmm. So weather sometimes can be a little cold or it can be a little rainy. But if you're a lifeguard and you're at Wilderness, there's still a lot of places you can work indoors. And for guests, that's great too. You don't want to miss out on your vacation just because the weather is bad. So people still have a great time indoors. They have arcades as well if swimming isn't your thing. So it's a huge resort. It's very cool.
Let's see. Can you tell a little about the housing? That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a great question. So as Chelsea mentioned earlier, the housing is walking distance to where you will work. You can see it. You open your door and you can see where you go to work. There's some great common areas in the housing. So there's a big kitchen so you can cook food for yourself. There's big TVs. I know during the World Cup, people would all get together and watch the World Cup together in big lounge areas. The other great thing about it is the HR contacts. So some of the people that you might be meeting if you come to the job fair, their offices are right in your housing. So if you have a question for someone about your social security card or just about, how to take care of something in the US, or maybe you're just feeling a little lonely and want to talk to someone, you don't even have to go outside. Their offices are right in your housing and they are super happy to talk to you. They also have security, so it's super safe housing as well.
Great. Right. Well, we'll hang out for a couple more minutes if there are any other questions. Catherine, do you have a favorite Wisconsin Dells thing to see? Because you've been there so many times, so I'm sure you know some secrets.
Really pretty state parks nearby. There's Mirror Lake State Park, and it's beautiful, and it's right there. It's not hard to get to at all. So Mirror Lake is beautiful. I like there's always something new. There's always a new business, something new to do. And there's actually a lot of the businesses in the Dells will offer discounts to J1 participants. So even if you don't work at that business, you can go ahead and get a discount just for being a J1. So it makes everything a little more affordable.
Yeah, that's great. That's such a nice perk. All right, it looks like we got a question that came in. Can friends be placed in the same housing room?
Yes, as long as you are of the same gender. So housing at Wilderness is separated by gender, but Maggie and Tammy, who are the HR contacts there, before you arrive, they will send out an email and ask if you have any housing requests, if you have any roommate preferences, so that you can try to make sure you live with people you know, if that's something you're interested in.
Hey, very good. Well, thank you all. I guess we can go ahead and wrap up, but thank you so much for taking time out of your busy days to join us and talk a little bit about Wilderness Resort and lifeguarding and Wisconsin Dells and how much fun you're going to have next summer. So we look forward to seeing you in the United States, hopefully next summer. Let's see. Oh, if you have any questions about anything that we covered, you can send your questions to BBB. They are a wonderful partner and very resourceful. So feel free to reach out to them for additional questions. And also follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, our two main ones. So definitely follow us on there. We post participant photos so you can kind of see a little bit about what it's like to join us on the work and travel program. All right. With that, I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everybody.